Hello, my amazing writers. I'm Era Charlene back with another educational video. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news on this one, and I hate to start us off like this, but my computer is broken. Which, is a bummer because that is one of the most bestest of friends that an author should have. A computer, a laptop, or whatnot. And hey, what do you know? That's the title of today's video. What should writers have? And I'm not talking about the obvious here. I'm not talking about, the computer, the laptop, a pen or a paper. Setting all that aside, I want to go into something deeper. And today in this video, we're going to be talking about 3 main topics that a writer should have. Which, first of them being good educational skills. If you're not organized with anything else in your life, like I am, be organized with your notes. Be organized with what you're writing. For me, like I said in my first video, I use Google Docs, and I'm sure most of you use, Microsoft Word, so maybe it works out with Microsoft Word too. But I want to say, organizational skills it's very important, especially if you're not going to be organized with anything else, because gone are the days when, you think of notes as, a really stressed out writer, sitting down and you see all these giant piles of paperwork all about him, and, he's trying to shuffle through, trying to figure out what notes he needs or where his chapter's at, and there's coffee stains, some of them's, ripped or anything. Gone are those days, because I'm here to help you guys out. So let's talk about, how your notes, alright, so, how your notes, I'm sorry, I'm here to talk about how my notes are set up, and maybe you can gain something from that. So kind of like how mine are set up is I have one folder that includes everything, and that one folder should be your book's name. For instance, for me, my book is called Behind Closed Doors, so there's going to be one file for that whole thing. And then within that file, you could have 2 more files, saying notes and the places where you keep your chapters, your rough drafts, your second drafts. So there should be, 2 folders within that one big folder. And within the notes folder, this is something that has really helped me out, and I wish somebody would have told me sooner, is you should have a character notes for, what your character looks like, what your character's name is, age, personality, character stats. I know there's that, I know, it's on the tip of my tongue, I can't, there's a title for that. It's character something, but you kind of get what I'm saying on this. And I really hope someone told me this sooner, because it was a major pain to try and look through everything, trying to figure out if my character had green eyes or if my character had blue eyes. That was a whole other mess. So I guess, I'm trying to help you out with like the kind of type of notes that you should have. You should have another folder within those notes, saying everything about, every single character in your book, or, all the main characters. And then, another thing that really helped me, and I wish someone would have told me, is that the second thing that's really good to have in your notes folder is your important links that you're using for your whole book. Because for me, it's frustrating when you have, 8 to 9 tabs open, because you don't know when you're going to go back to that website. So, you should have a folder labeled, or you should have a page, labeled important links. And you would just list off every single link that you used for your research. Like for me, I had to research a lot about poisons, little spoiler alert, but I had to research, about poisons and about the symptom just so I could pick the right one. And I had to list off, because there's multiple sites, on poisons and how it's used and everything like that. So I had to list every single one of them, every single one of the websites. And, even if you don't do this, you could always do bookmarks, but then again with bookmarks, you're scrolling through, all these different links, and it's frustrating because you don't know what link is which. So this is why I kind of say to list all your important links you're using for your novels, and to rename them. Rename them, like for me, it was different types of poisons here, the symptoms of poisons here, everything like that. So that's my advice on kind of to help you get started with your notes and your organizational skills. Trust me, it's very, very smart, and it has saved me so much time because, you can be stopped at a chapter just trying to, research for a good 30 minutes, and that is valuable time you could use on actual writing. So it's really good idea that you can just, open up a page, on another window from your Google Docs or your Microsoft Word or whatever, and then just, it's really easy to find that one website that you need and to just pick it right out. So, having organizational skills is, very important. And I try to tell, one of my friend writers this, and for the longest time, she couldn't get the idea of notes. She couldn't get the idea of research, and it made me really mad. But luckily she found it. She found out that she can't exactly write a book just based on purely what she knows. Every writer needs to have research, and every writer needs to have organizational skills. So the second thing we're going to talk about today is having a professional mentor. And before you skip ahead, this can be free, okay? This can be free. It's mostly just, websites and everything. And, speaking of websites, you also need to have a plan. Are you going to do self-publishing? Are you going to do traditional publishing? And what website gives the best advice for that? For me, there's 2 websites that I absolutely love, and I'll post the links down below. I should be posting, some links on my other videos, and I will get to that right away, I swear. But one of the links is, Book Baby. They have this, short quiz to tell you, if you're going to do the self-publishing route or if you're going to do the traditional route. And my result was to do the traditional route, so that's the route that I'm going for. But Book Baby is more about self-publishing. It's more about, marketing strategies, which is one huge problem that I can't deal with, when I'm doing self-publishing. It's because I don't have a marketing team, I don't have a marketing strategy, and that is one of the major things of why, a lot of self-publishing authors fail. But, just do your research on that first. Please don't take my word alone for it. Another thing that, I'm sorry, hold on. Another thing that's a really good important website is Red Sea. And Red Sea is amazing. Red Sea is the one website that I actually use because I need to start looking for an agent or, a publisher or an editor. And I need to start wondering, how do I do that? And Red Sea answers all of your main questions for that. I have them all screenshotted into my phone. Like I said, I'll send you guys the link. But for Red Sea, this is more of a traditional publishing route, and they usually do something called First Line Frenzy. It's an awesome mentor to have because if you're picked, within their video, they will read your line, your very first line in your book, and they will give you awesome advice based on that line, depending if you get picked or not. Obviously, they can't pick everybody, but it's a good idea to try, see where you are and, everything like that. So I'll definitely post a few videos, a few links from First Line Frenzies, in the past, so you can get the general idea of it. Another thing that's really important is that there's so many good advice out there, for like professional mentors and having a plan and everything, that you just have to do your research beforehand. And you could also put this, in your important links, when you're doing your whole book thing, is, hey, these are some of the websites that could really help me out to try and formulate a good plan. So, make sure you do your research beforehand. That's very important. The last thing that we're going to talk about, and I think this is one of the most biggest things, is this is the time to try and start building your author profile. And what I mean by that is try and putting yourself out there, on platforms such as, blogging. There's really good websites for blogging information, and mine kind of fell through the trash because I don't really do the whole blogging thing, but maybe you guys do. So that's one platform that you can kind of mess around with and see if you can get an audience for, is blogging, YouTube, like what I'm doing, like what a few other authors are doing on YouTube. Wattpad is really good for reaching out to publishers and editors, and it's a good idea because you can write your book on there online for free, and people can comment on it saying how, good it is or how bad it is. It's a really good idea to gain your audience on Wattpad, and that's how I started out with. I had a pretty good audience, on Wattpad, so that's a really good thing, and it's completely free to sign up. They do have a premium plan, and no one is paying me, for these really good reviews, otherwise my videos wouldn't look like this. So no, I'm not getting paid. This is just my opinion and how I feel about these kind of websites. So Wattpad is really, really good, and I'll also post the link, down below for that as well. And another thing, Instagram, if it's not already dead, Instagram is also a really good platform because there's so much advice, pages that tells you advice and everything. And that's kind of like what I'm using. I'm following a bunch of, really good advice pages and everything like that. And, I'm pretty sure you guys know what Instagram is. I don't think I need to reiterate, what that all is. Another thing you need to keep an eye on is, are you writing fiction or nonfiction? This is the question that really bugs writers, because there's also a subcategory. So if you're writing fiction, is this going to be a romance? Is this going to be a mystery? Is it going to be a mystery and romance? Is this going to be a horror? So that's kind of what you need to kind of focus on. What is it that I'm writing? What genre is my book going to be in for the intended audience? Another thing is, this is kind of a fun question, is, will you have a pen name? Pen names are, kind of fun, because you can make up your own name and your own little, writer personality, because this is all about you right now. You need to kind of build up your author profile. So, will you have a pen name? What are you going to be writing, fiction or nonfiction, and the subcategories you'll be writing for. Another major question, and I'm pretty sure you're going to be asked this by editors and publishers and whatnot, is what will make your book stand out? For me, I'm kind of dealing in LGBT romance, with a little bit of thrillers, because I love thrillers. I love, placing all the clues around and then trying to wrap it all up at the end of the book. So that's my thing. I love doing thrillers. And I love, the LGBT rights and everything, and, such as that. So that's kind of a question that you need to figure out. What makes you stand out as an author, and why should people read your book? Is there a hidden message, intended for the younger ones, or is this a book, based on, historical facts or historical fiction? It's just something that you need to really keep in mind for if you, want an interview or something, and, they ask you, what will make, readers pick your book out and, check it out at the library or pay for it. And that's the kind of thing that you need to ask yourself. These questions, all of this, the organizational skills, having a professional mentor, building your author profile, these questions will help you to figure out who you are as an author. And, that can be it can be fun, it can be really, really fun. Like I said, if you're not organized with anything else in life, be organized with your writing, because it helps me a lot, and I'm pretty sure it's going to help you guys out a lot too. Yes, it's a lot of work. Yes, it can be a pain, but when you're just working on your second draft, it's good to have all those notes. Or when you're going through a really tough time of writer's block and you pick up your book 2 or 3 months later and you make really excellent notes, you can pick it right back up, no problem. So, also have a professional mentor. Just like I said before, Red Sea and BookBaby are 2 really good websites to get started on. No one's paying me to say this. And, do your research before deciding what platform you want. It's different for everybody. No one's going to choose the same path, which I think is very, very important to know. You are your own person, your own financial needs, and, just choose a path that works for you, but make sure you do your research on it. And, of course, who are you as an author? So these are kind of the things that I kind of decided to teach you guys on what should an author have besides the the pen and the paper and and the very basic stuff. So I hope this really helps you as it helped out with me. Like I said, I'm learning about this as I'm going along, and I'm passing it on to you guys. So I really hope you enjoy this, and I'm really glad with how this video came out. I'm not stumbling on my words so much. I have a script. So until next time, you guys, and write with your heart. Bye.